Today's episode of the Bill Simmons Podcast on the Ringer Podcast Network. Brought to you by SeatGeek, our presenting sponsor. The easiest way to shop for the best tickets. Buy and sell tickets in just 2 taps on your phone. Everything fully guaranteed. Use their revolutionary grading system. Hey, football fans, for $20 off your first SeatGeek purchase on NFL tickets, a season that happens to be starting next week. Use promo code BSNFL. Download the SeatGeek app or go right to SeatGeek.com. We're also brought to you by Gillette. You might know Gillette Stadium, home of the New England Patriots. Did you know a Gillette razor blade edge is thinner than a single brain cell? That's the product of many brain cells at work, namely the thousands of men and women at Gillette who are always working harder to make your shave better. Now you can get Gillette blades for less. Now you can get Gillette blades for less at GilletteOnDemand.com. Gillette, the best a man can get. Pricing applies to select products and is at the sole discretion of the retailer. We were brought to you by Talk the Thrones, our Game of Thrones post-game show on Twitter. The last one was last night. You can find it at Ringer or just by going hashtag Talk the Thrones. The last episode of Binge Mode Game of Thrones will be on Wednesday. Mallory Rubin and Jason Concepcion breaking down the final episode of Game of Thrones. And don't forget about The Rewatchables, our new podcast. Breaking down our favorite movies. I've hosted the first 3, Few Good Men, The Departed, and this week, Point Break. Vaya con Dios. We have You've Got Mail coming this week. I'm not hosting that one. That will be Juliet Littman and Amanda Dobbins. Arguably the last great Meg Ryan movie. I'm still partial to Proof of Life, but we'll see what they say. But you can download the Rewatchables or subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Coming up, part 2 of the Kevin Durant podcast that we taped on Wednesday night in Los Angeles. In part 1, we talked about the Kyrie Irving trade as well as we started a mailbag. And in part 2, we kept going with the mailbag, and it started to get a little crazier as it went along. And then finally, we just started talking about all the teams in the NBA. And at that point, it was almost 2 hours, and we realized that we had been going on too long. But here's part 2. Kevin Durant, the 4th time we have done this together. My favorite of the 4, personally, but we'll see what you think. Thanks to all the listeners who sent mailbag questions. We appreciate it. Here it is, part 2. But first, Pearl Jam. Jerome Douglas wants to know, what's the hottest you've ever been in an NBA game?
Hottest?
Hottest.
I was 19 for like 28 against Denver. I had 51. That was like 2012.
The basket did the thing where it just seemed like it was gigantic?
Man, it didn't seem gigantic. It's just like my shots felt good, but they were swishing. I was like swishing a lot of them.
You've never had like your random 70-point explosion crazy game?
I never looked for those.
But if they started happening, you would go with it.
Oh, of course, but I got to be blistering hot. I'm not looking to get blistering hot, though. I'm looking to like...
You know the game you got hurt in Golden State?
I was hot.
You had 30 at halftime, right?
But I had to slow roll it the second half because they'd have been doubling. They'd have been running everybody at me. I would have ended up with probably 42. So I kind of know how the game's going to go. So I'd rather have like 20 and a half, end up with like 28, and I'd rather do that for like 2 weeks straight than get 70 and then 15, then 12, then
right.
You know what I'm saying? I'd rather do 30 for 2 weeks straight than have one big outburst.
You're going to love this question. This is from Jeff in Chicopee, Massachusetts. As a basketball official, I'm wondering, how do you like a game officiated? Do you prefer a game called tight, or do you prefer when the referees let a lot of shit go?
I like a ref to go with the flow. I don't like you to come in there and say we're going to call it tight or we're going to let y'all play. I like you to go with the flow. If somebody being super physical and team trying to rough somebody up unnecessarily, like off the ball doing extra stuff, then call that. You know what I'm saying? But if a team playing fair and hard fouls but, good intentions on the fouls, like let that slide. You know what I'm saying? If you feel like a team chirping as soon as they start playing, and the players are getting distracted and not playing the game, then control it. But if it's a healthy competition of talking shit, might have to let that ride. Like you gotta have the flow of the game down. You know,
Right.
You can't come into the game trying to ref it one way. You got to kind of fill the game out. That's what the really good refs do.
Yeah, consistency and sense of the moment. The older refs, the guys that I grew up with, they were always really good at knowing kind of when to shut it down or when to let it go. These guys now, they always seem like they're just terrified of any sort of conflict. If you stink eye somebody, it's technical. I like the stink eyeing. What are you guys going to get in a knife fight in mid-court? Like, that's part of basketball.
And that's the reason. So when you compare errors, right, we're not comparing the game. We're just comparing the physicality now. So,
Yeah.
like, back then, that stuff was cool. It made it fun. It was like watching hockey. You seeing all them damn fouls and all those flagrants. See, now it's a little bit more buttoned up. So that's why the errors are different, in my opinion.
That was my favorite. I have a lot of favorite Jordan moments, but when who did he dunk on? McDaniel? And then he
No, that was Pippen. I mean, Pippen. That was Ewing.
or maybe he didn't dunk on him, but he did the finger roll and then he stood over him after.
And he was like pointing
Yeah,
at him.
he was pointing at him?
He
No,
he
that
got
was
the
Xavier.
steal.
No, that's
he got
Xavier
the,
McDaniel.
He got the steal and got the and one. That's when he started pointing.
Yeah. He got
did-
hacked.
Pippen did it to Ewing.
Pippen dunked on
Jordan
you.
did it too when he fake middle and then spent back baseline.
Yeah.
All of this was over the rim.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
was all in the rim.
But in that 91 playoff series, Pat Riley's first year, Jordan dunked on
92,
Xavier
yeah.
McDaniel, 91-92, and that's when he started pointing Xavier McDaniel.
That was a great series.
Yeah. I went 7 in the second round.
Riley really turned that team into just a bunch of
I love that.
physical maniacs. Yeah, the Knicks fans love that team. Which 3 movies would you take on a desert island if you could only watch 3 movies for the rest of your life and you were stuck there like Tom Hanks from Castaway? Jamie from Rochester wants to know. You have 3 movies. That's it. Rest of your life.
Coming to America.
Okay.
You gotta have a mob movie in there, so I'm trying to pick between either Godfather or Goodfellas. I want something long that I can watch.
All right, I'll let you take both.
Nah, because I want 3. Godfather,
Okay.
one, first one. You gotta have a love movie.
A love movie.
Yeah, you gotta have some different emotions. Shit.
Like a
If you
rom-com?
If you're over there by yourself, damn, you wanna spice it up a little bit, right?
So porn
Love
movies.
Love Jones.
Okay, Love Jones. Godfather's a good choice.
Yeah.
Casino.
Outside of winning a championship, Sonny wants to know, what's been your favorite thing about the Bay Area?
Favorite thing about the Bay, it's just the culture. It's the food. The food is just like so many different pockets of like, it feels like mom and pop stores, mom and pop restaurants. I mean, like, in different pockets of the San Francisco and the Bay Area and Oakland, it's like so many small, like really boutique restaurants, and the culture in there is just like, overwhelming, and it's just like you really get entrenched in that. Like just different restaurants, you tell they take it really, really serious, and I never experienced nothing like that. So I think that was cool. Just different restaurant experiences out there.
I swear I didn't write this question. Kev Deuce did, whoever that is. I'm a Celtics fan who was pretty sure Danny Ainge was going to take you first in 2007. Was he going to take you if they got the pick?
I heard he was. He said he was. Yeah, I heard that. I read an article. He said he was going to do that.
I heard he was.
Yeah.
That'd have been bold.
I heard.
That'd have been bold.
I think there was another team that would have done it too.
Really?
Yeah, I think there was 2. I can't remember the second one. We had some Portland questions in here too, but I haven't gotten into it yet. Oh, Tyler from Bentonville, Arkansas wants to know, what's the best place to eat at in D.C. if you can only have one meal there?
Home of the Walmart. Bentonville, right?
Huh?
He's from Bentonville?
Bentonville, Arkansas.
Yeah, it's home of Walmart.
Okay.
Random fact. In D.C., I would go to Keith and Sons and see Pleasant, Maryland. That's like perfect soul food.
Okay. What do players around the league really think about the Knicks situation? Wants to know Julian, a New York transplant in Los Angeles. Are you even have any opinion on it?
Well, everything starts at the top. You got bad leadership at the top. It's going to just trickle down to everybody else. So once you get the bad leader out, then.
So the players are really aware of this when there's certain teams that seem like they're not being maybe crisply run.
Yeah. And your players, is so much separation between the front office and your players. You got to come from the top. There's no communication from the owner down to the GM. So when the GM want to make a decision, you got to talk to the owner, and he know where to be found, or he don't care. Then you kind of stuck, and that causes tension.
I think that's the biggest thing that's different about your generation and the motivations you guys have to play wherever is that in the old days, it was just like, get me to a big city or get me to a place where I can be seen and be famous. But now it doesn't really matter as much where you play because everybody's league pass. And a team, you were in Oklahoma City, you were on TV all the time. Mm-hmm. Now it seems like the teams are like, who's well run? Yep. Or the players. Yep. Who's well run? Who's the owner? Yep. Do they have a plan? You can feel it. You can feel it shifting.
In a stable situation, man. You want to have fun playing ball and have a chance to win. Like, you cannot go win the championship every year. Dudes are not making decisions solely based off of, am I going to win the championship? Do I got a chance? Do we got a chance? Cool. Is it a good environment? Cool. Do I like my teammates? Do I like the city? There's a lot of factors that go into to dudes making these decisions, not just off of, am I going to win the championship or am I going to make some money? Like,
yeah.
It's not that black and white.
John from Philly wants to know what was the clutchest basketball play of your career?
Clutchest?
Yeah, clutchest. I don't know if that's a word.
Most clutch.
Game 3 of the finals.
That's what I said too. Connor Link wants to know, hearing your name dropped by so many rappers must be a humbling feeling. What was the best drop? And also, why do you think basketball players share such a unique connection with the world of hip hop, which is really 1,000% true? I would say it is a unique connection.
Why is it unique?
Because it's just unique. Basketball and hip hop. I don't know why it goes together.
Why is it looked at as unique though?
Because like nobody says like football and hip hop goes together. It seems like it's specific for baseball that sport. Yeah, baseball and country.
I see what you're saying. First question again was
when your name gets dropped.
Oh yeah. It's just respect, you know.
What was the first time it happened?
Man, Wale dropped my name in a song when I was in college, and I was like, damn. I rewinded it back a couple times. You know what I'm saying? It's just a respect. They watching. I appreciate that.
I don't know what this.
And why do we have such a huge connection with hip hop?
Maybe there's no answer.
Well, majority of the players are black, and the majority of the players who are black grew up on hip hop. And hip hop changed our lives, like how we looked at our lives. So, and it was telling our story, just to keep it all real.
I think what's interesting is most hip hop artists would change places with basketball players, basketball stars, and vice versa.
We would. I always talk about that. I asked somebody. We talk about, would you rather be Drake or Tom Brady? And I was like,
You get 5 Super Bowls if you're
That's
Tom
what I'm saying.
Brady.
And then, you're the biggest pop star in the world. Like in the sports world, Tom Brady is a god. So who would you rather be? So yeah, that's a good question.
Giselle though.
That's what I'm saying.
That's a
good question.
Not that Drake does bad.
He probably does really well, but I'm just saying, you know.
With all his emotions.
That's
just saying. I'm just saying that's a good question, man.
Monique from Philly wants to know, what does KD view as his own role in this moment where NBA stars are feeling increasingly emboldened to speak their mind on issues related to politics/race, or in other sports where athletes may be more reluctant, say in football?
Yeah, I understand what goes on with that, you know, as far as being reluctant. You know, you got a family to take care of, and that might affect your job. And once it get real like that, you got to make some decisions, and I understand that. But most of the guys, if you feel like you need to speak out, be confident in it. A lot of people are going to have your back. And it's cool to have a conversation about how we can help this thing get better. You know what I'm saying? So if we disagree, let's try to come together and make it, come to an agreement at some point somewhere. So it's good that these players are talking out because that's all, they always on TV. We always on TV. It's about access. It's about views. So why not, if we have a platform, talk about something that's really, really important. So
it seems like over the last 2 years, the most visible NBA stars are starting to realize how much power they have.
Yeah, man. That's like I said, it's about views. You know what I mean? Especially nowadays, like you got how many followers you got kind of dictates your life almost. Especially if you're trying to make it in the entertainment business or like anywhere in that business where people are going to see you. So when you get that platform, it's a perfect time to use it to, give out some awareness to some people in some areas that they probably wouldn't listen to from somebody else. You know what I'm saying? So if LeBron says something or, the Bennett brothers or Colin Kaepernick, like somebody is going to listen because they got a lot of views on them. So they're using their platform for good. They should be praised for that.
What's the next step?
Just taking action. I feel as though, a lot of guys do so much in their communities. It's going to take us a long time to see some change. But, if you're putting in the work every single day, you can kind of feel as though you did your part. So we probably won't see the results. You won't, I won't. But we can just kind of lay that foundation down. I think a lot of guys are doing that on the low, too. And you should go in those communities and see what they're doing because they're changing them and they're giving a lot of hope to kids. It may not be like giving money out or donating, but like imagine coming from a small ass neighborhood, Bentonville, Arkansas, and an NBA player makes it out of there and people see him on TV. You know how big that is for that city, that region? Like that goes a long way. That's sometimes bigger than donating money. You know what I'm saying? So that's what these players are doing. And when they go back to their neighborhoods and just show, and so people can see what they did, that goes a long way. And I've seen so many players that give so much hope to people, not just athletes, but to people in general.
It seems like your generation is more involved with their own communities that they came from than any other generation in the league. It's not like it wasn't happening before, but
it's just so
your
much,
generation's really into it.
It's just so much separation now because we're seeing the racism now. We're seeing the police brutality now. Like it always happened, but now it's like I said, it's about views. So we're seeing it now. So now, like when you see so much separation, it's just like I want to just stay close to home. I want these people that love me, that I know love me, that I can trust, that love me. I want them to feel the love too. I want to share this with them. So let me invest there. But at the same time, while you're investing in the community, you still can. Community that you play in, grab that community too, bring them together. Community you went to college in, grab them, bring them together. That's the power we have as athletes. And a lot of the players, Draymond Green donating to Michigan State. And it's not about the money, because Michigan State can make a lot of money. It's the fact that Draymond Green did it. And if you walk in Michigan State's facility and see Draymond Green practice gym, like a player is going to be like, damn, man, I can get a building too. That goes a long way. And then kids that fans of Michigan State live in that area, they fans of Draymond Green, along with where he comes from. So I think that's why so many players are going back to their communities just like, man, I need to feel some love again, because there's so much separation going on in our country. So, but along with going back, we still need to grab as many communities as we can and kind of bring everybody together.
I did a podcast the other day. We were talking about why NBA players have taken such stature versus NFL players. And it's like, the 25th most famous NBA player is as famous as just about any NFL player. And you can see it with the social media followings. You see it with the commercials, all that stuff.
Yeah. I mean,
why do you think that is?
They wear helmets, and there's so many of them. But in basketball, one player can kind of change a team. In football, like, it has to be the quarterback.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Receiver has a big, all those players, are important to the big group, but the quarterback kind of drives the whole thing. So
I think the biggest difference
you need somebody to blame, so you got to blame the quarterback or the kicker. You know what I'm saying? So you can't blame the defensive lineman because you don't really know what he does. So they don't really know the game as much about, they know more about basketball than they do football, and they wear helmets. So
If you're an 11-year-old kid now,
and we make a lot of money.
you make a lot of money, but your career's also long. If I'm an 11-year-old kid now and I'm a stud athlete, why would I want to be Le'Veon Bell? I might have a 9-year career. I'd be the best running back in the league, but
come on, Bill.
If I'm you, I get to play for 18 years, baby.
What kid is thinking like that?
I don't know.
Okay.
Well, if I'm a kid,
that's why they play football.
Yeah, maybe the dad.
That's why they play football.
That's a good point. It's much easier to play basketball, though.
It is.
All you need is to find a rim.
Though. It is fun.
Did you ever reach a point where you're like, I'd love to do this, but I'm just too tall now. I can't play football. Would you have played football if you were like 6'5"?
I'd have played more football if I was shorter and I was a little wider. Yeah, but yeah, I tried to play football.
What was that? There was a lockout game when you and LeBron.
There's
video of that.
I just can't.
That was hilarious.
I can't get hit. I can play football, but I can't get hit. That's when I'll just blank out. I can't get hit. That's why I stopped playing in the first place when I was young. I got hit one time. And I walked straight home. For real. My mom was like, "You just quit?" I was like, "Yes." I'm not playing football.
Let's take a quick break to talk about our friends at DirecTV. For over 20 years, DirecTV has been the exclusive home for NFL Sunday Ticket, the only way to get every live game every Sunday. And one of the only reasons I allowed myself to move to Los Angeles, because once DirecTV was a thing, you could live wherever you wanted and watch your favorite football team, baseball team, basketball team, whatever. Good news, NFL fans. DirecTV has expanded the service. If you live in an apartment or you are an enrolled college student, you can now get NFL Sunday Ticket without one of those satellites. Just get it streaming. To see if you're eligible, go online to NFLSundayTicket.tv. Stream every NFL Sunday Ticket game this season. Follow your team no matter where you live. Use promo code BILL Simmons. Guess what? You save 15% with that promo code. Once again, that's NFLSundayTicket.tv. Promo code Bill Simmons. Watch all the football you want. Knock yourself out. NFLSundayTicket.tv. Back to Kevin Durant. Dylan wants to know, do you think the NBA will ever have a 4-point line, and do you wish they did?
Nah, I think 3-pointers.
What if it was from half court?
Then what kind of game we playing?
What are just the first 3 quarters?
What kind of game we playing then?
Rock and jock.
Yeah,
Steph would kill it though.
I wouldn't play.
That's it, you're out.
I'm out. Yeah. Can't play like that. That's a joke.
Doug Ziegler wants to know, what's your video game of choice right now?
2K.
We saw that when we came in.
I'm in GM mode. So when they came in, I had the Tar Heels. I uploaded them from the internet, and I put them in a franchise. So they're expansion team in my GM mode. I know it's real deep, but yeah, I'm like 16 years in my GM mode, and I'm making trades. I traded for the number 1 pick and got Lonzo Ball. He's starting point guard for me on my GM mode. So, YouTube, perfect time to plug YouTube. This year, I got 2K GM mode. Whoever want to jump in my league, we playing live too. We going through the season live. I give you all the details once we get it going. But it's a nice little fun league. If you into the GM mode in 2K, your boy got something special.
Can we psychoanalyze the part that you play UNC?
Yeah, I know
the school that you almost went to.
I know it was deep. I gotta explain it. I'm gonna explain it in the video. I promise. I just thought about it the other day. If you like the GM mode, I got a nice little league to play in. So I might get Bill going. We can test your brain a little bit. It's real GM stuff, real cap room, like restricted free agents, unrestricted free agents.
The only video game I can still
fun. I'm telling you.
I can't do the basketball anymore. I can do the football,
man,
and that's it.
I'm telling you, if you get into this, you'll be addicted. My boy Bryce, he was just here the other day. He never played video games. I loaded up the GM mode. He about to go buy a whole Xbox for his house right now. And we're going to get online and play.
So 3 weeks from now, my wife's going to be like, I don't know what happened to you. Bill's playing Boo-Ray and 2K nonstop. He's lost his mind.
I'm putting you on game. Literally.
So the fact that he's UNC over Texas is unbelievable to me.
I chose Texas first as an expansion team, but the jerseys was whack. So I didn't feel like changing the jerseys. And I clicked over and I seen UNC. I was like, that's fire. And the blue was just like...
Have you ever been happy with your 2K rating?
Oh, it could change. I just got to
beef it up?
Nice week. Once you have a nice week, it'll change. Go out there and get some buckets. Your numbers will change.
Alonzo Rodriguez wants to know if you watch Game of Thrones.
Nah.
Yeah, I figured not.
Why'd you figure that?
Because you would have mentioned it as your favorite show, and instead you said Billions.
You're right. I thought you was
Henry from
stereotyping.
Henry from Canada wants to know if you could steal one move from any player of all time and take it for yourself, what would it be? He offered Hakeem's Dream Shake. You could just take it. Add that to your arsenal.
I'd rather just shoot a turnaround jump shot. I don't need to do all of that.
So you don't want anybody's move. Would you want Kareem's Skyhook?
No, I want somebody's move, but I don't want the Dream Shake. Even though the Dream Shake is tough, I look stupid doing that.
How about Kareem's Skyhook? All of a sudden you have Kareem's Skyhook in your arsenal.
I'm not down there enough.
Yeah.
You know what you were talking about the other day? The Karl Malone move, remember?
I got that.
What is it?
Talk about what you were saying about that.
Oh yeah, Karl Malone was just simple. One dribble, hit you with the shoulder, fade away. Every play.
Oh yeah.
That's a great move.
But he weighed like 280 pounds. So when he touched you with your shoulder, you went flying backwards.
But I'm a little longer than the player, so that's my shoulder, is my length.
I got a million emails about the Hezzy pull-up Jimbo.
Yep.
Jimbo?
Jimbo, yeah. The Jimmy.
Hezzy pull-up Jimbo.
The Jimmy is.
But you never explained what it was.
So it's a Hezzy. You know what a Hezzy is, right?
Yeah.
Do you?
Hesitation.
Yeah. So you Hezzy with the left. So when I seen Markelle Fultz do it, he Hezzy with the left, and he ain't put it back down. He went straight into the shot. That's tough. And the dude who taught him that taught me that. So I know the hours of work he put in on that.
I don't know what a Jimbo is though.
It's a jump shot, Jimmy.
You knew that.
I've never heard
Everybody
the
got
Jimbo.
different names. I call it a Jimmy. I just threw the Jimbo
How
on
could
there.
he, if you hesitate and pull up, what else could be left after that?
I didn't know if I knew the Jimbo. I figured it was a variation of the jumper, but I didn't know if it was some
Jimmy.
sort of.
Yeah, I call it a Jimmy.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Do you have any other weird phrases like that?
I mean,
Or is that-
I can't just say it right here. It just come to mind when I see it. See a move.
Mike from Cleveland wants to know what's the worst you've ever been dunked on. I know you know.
Yeah,
You definitely
that
remember.
damn AB dunked on me. I had it. I seen the ball. As soon as he picked the ball up, I seen it. I was going to chase it. I was going to pin that shit.
Avery Bradley?
Yeah, and he grabbed my left arm where I usually block my shots from. He grabbed that shit perfectly to it, and boom, he got me. And all I hear is KG and Paul Pierce just talking shit. Bitch ass nigga, bitch ass, dunk on his ass, dunk on his ass. I was like, he got me, and we lost again.
Johnny wants to know, he said, Bill, meaning me, wrote a whole NBA book based around the premise that the secret of basketball is that it's not about basketball. KD, you just won the title. Is this true? Meaning that it's not just about,
No, it's not.
I'm good at basketball. It's about the relationships of the players and sacrifice
it's
and
a lot to go into.
unselfishness and all that stuff. So you agree with the premise?
Yeah, definitely. It's probably more so mental than anything.
What's the biggest lesson you learned last year that would feed that premise?
It's okay to tell people to fuck off during the finals. Like during precious times of my season, it's hard to tell people to get out my face. I don't wanna
You
talk
talking
to-
about teammates or people in your life?
Not teammates, just family, friends. Like, I don't have time to talk to you right now. I don't feel like talking to you right now. My focus is on something else.
Yeah.
It's okay to say that because they'll understand, It's not me being mean. Once I realize that, like, no, I'm in the zone right now. I don't feel like talking about this, or I don't want to watch this, or just leave me alone. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, let me just focus on what I want to. Let me think about what I want to. And, like, you really can, like, shelter yourself in a good way from people, from stuff that doesn't matter. It's not important at all because we always focus on stuff that's not important. That's what everybody does. So once you focus on like just one thing and you have a passion and love for it, it took me to another level of like joy of the game. It was fun.
So you told Rich to fuck off?
No. My thing was, Rich, no. If you were there when we played Utah in December, if you was at a game and you stayed at my house or you came and visited me, you can come during the finals. If you didn't, then don't come. Don't try to come to the finals game. You know what I'm saying? You get what I mean? Like if you come in the dog days of my, like, you know what I mean? When don't feel like going to practice, and you know that, you can see that, then you can come hang out. But if not, then there was only a few people.
Ryan Sullivan wants to know who has the greatest step back hezzy Jimbo in the league right now.
Step back hezzy, you can't do that.
What do you mean?
You can't step back and then nah.
I'm just reading the question.
T-Mac had the best all time.
T-Mac was nice.
His was the best.
This is a good one. Blake from Indianapolis. Did any of your Team USA teams have an inter-squad battle scrimmage, not videotaped, like the famous Monte Carlo battle in 1992?
That same building. Well, in Barcelona.
Yeah.
Well, not the same building they played that game in, but that game where they played, they won a gold medal. We had practice in there.
What are we talking? 12 or 16?
12.
Okay.
We had practice in that same arena where they won a gold medal. I think it was it, and we had a nice scrimmage.
So who were the teams? Do you remember?
I can remember it was the starters. It was CP, Kobe, me, Bron, Tyson Chandler, and then it was
Melo.
Melo didn't start. He didn't start. He came off the bench.
He was 6-man.
It was D. Will, Russ.
So Russ was on the other team.
Yeah, because Russ was coming off. He was like the seventh man. Andre Iguodala, Melo, and Kevin Love, and then he had subs.
And it just was on.
What about D Wade?
D Wade went on that team. It was Anthony Davis and James Harden as subs.
Yeah, Davis, the late era of that team.
Yeah. He was. He
That was a good pick, though. It was nice to get him the
perfect.
The
he
reps.
was a perfect guy to have in that situation, and we went at it. Yeah. It was a good game.
But it wasn't like the Dream Team Monte Carlo game that the Magic versus Michael moment didn't happen, right?
Nah. I think that was a little bit fabricated, in my opinion.
Well, there's no videotape, so they can. Plus, Magic's great at just, he's a storyteller.
The showman, of course, you got to hype that up. I would too. Yeah, me
There's
and
footage
Mike.
of that game.
There's footage of
Where?
a game.
Yeah,
no,
where?
yeah,
They show a few clips. They show
It's
like
a
Michael
game.
and Magic going at 1-on-1 against each other in the grill
they
game.
show a few moves. They show a few moves of Barkley and Karl Malone, Ewing and Robinson.
But it
I'm not
wasn't
100% sure it's
it
that
was probably
game.
a situation. They ain't probably just throw the balls out and say
There's
just
no
go.
footage of your game.
I know, but I wasn't hyping it up to be fucking the game of the century either. Nobody knew about it till just now. Fuck, I wasn't hyping it up.
Did that whole team? What team was closer, the 12 team or the 16 team, from a hangout
The
standpoint?
16 team was it was all younger guys. It wasn't like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. You had Kobe, LeBron. Them personalities are huge. You know?
Kobe and LeBron on the same team.
Yeah, not. I'm just saying, like, when you have Kobe and LeBron like riding on the same bus, and you get off a bus, there's a lot of people there. That's what I mean.
Yeah, and you guys were pretty young that year too.
Yeah, we were young, but those two carry a lot of celebrity.
Yeah,
So in this team now, the team that we had, it wasn't really nobody like that.
right. Dumbest purchase you made early in your career from Adam Parker?
I bought my house. I bought a house my rookie year. I didn't want. I shouldn't have bought it.
In Seattle?
I knew at some point. I knew we were gonna leave. Not that next year, but
Right.
at some point we were.
You
gonna
knew it
leave.
was.
Yeah. But
Somebody else, I didn't get to this, but somebody else asked, when did you know the Sonics were leaving?
I knew around.
Did you get tipped off?
I want to say July. No, late June. Late June. Somebody called me and it was just like, we moving to Oklahoma City. I was in Austin, Texas.
I got a lot of emails about if Seattle got an expansion team, would you finish your career there from people in Seattle?
Good question. Who knows? Who knows? I feel like I deserve. They deserve to see me grow up in the league.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? As far as like me being drafted.
That was pretty
there.
terrible. I mean, for a variety of reasons, you lose your team, you lose a team that won the title, but then you also lose Durant and Westbrook. That's pretty. That's pretty rough.
You feel for them when it comes to that, but you never know what happens on the ends of the business side of stuff. Like who knows?
Yeah,
who
I guess.
knows what went on with that? So, but as far as from a fan standpoint, I think from seeing us that first year and seeing like the start, that was when Sam first got there. So
Yeah.
start over.
Jeff Green.
I felt like they deserved to see some of that through a little bit.
What's your favorite arena to play in besides your own? Wonders Stew.
Madison Square.
That seems to be the consensus answer.
Yeah, that's just so live.
Most history, great
so
acoustics.
Live, man. Yeah, and you just know it's the Mecca. Yeah, I don't think they should ever change that. They just make upgrades to it, but
this is a good one.
You know what's the underrated part too?
What?
About Madison Square? Is the buzzard. It's an old school buzzard.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Like that shit does it to me every time. I love that shit.
Sean McLaughlin wants to know, what is the minimum height you believe you would still be an all-star at?
6'7".
6'7". Oh, I thought you were gonna say like 6'1".
My game is because of my length. Like, I use that to my advantage. I'm not strong. I know I ain't bullying nobody, so I'm longer than a lot of people, so I'm going to use that. If I wasn't, then I have to, figure it out. But that's my game right now.
Do that buzzer sound again.
I don't know if that was right. It was the pitch. I got to pitch it down a little bit.
Ryan Found from Baltimore wants to know, you proudly and rightfully rep the DMV. Why can't they keep high school prospects from there in that region?
The turgid.
Why did you say, I want to go to Maryland, I want to go to Georgetown? Why? Every time this happens, it doesn't seem like they keep those kids.
Well, for me, I didn't want to go to Maryland. I didn't want to stay home. I wanted to see what was outside of that area. I think a lot of kids, to be honest, they don't choose Maryland unless they play in like an Under Armour system coming up. Shoe companies have a real big influence on where these kids go. So nobody wants to play in Under Armours. I'm sorry. Like the top kids don't, because they all play Nike.
Have you talked to Steph about this?
Nah, but come on, man. Everybody knows that. Nobody don't want to say nothing. But the kids that grew up in the Under Armour system, they go to Maryland. And those kids in Georgetown, like that system kind of was, nobody wanted to play in it no more. It was cool early on, but the kids want to play up and down now. So
yeah,
I think Pat's going to change that up, though.
Let's end on this one. From Big Dax. As good, parentheses, really great as you are right now, do you think you can still get better, and how? Or are you at the point where you have peaked as a basketball player and now you just have to maintain it?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
How old are you now?
I'm 28, about to be 29 in September.
So you're right around.
I'm right around.
This is apex territory.
But I look at my career and like since I first started, like where am I at when I first started playing? And I mastered a lot of the game individually. Like scoring the ball, I feel like I've mastered how to score from every area and how to make a shot from every point, every spot on the floor. And it's not about like the moves I got. It was just like making a shot at every single spot on the floor. I mastered that. But now it's about like how many different combinations can I add. I got a lot more to learn, like triple moves, like footwork. DeMar DeRozan has probably got the best footwork I've seen in a long time.
And he worked at it too.
And I've been trying to watch him to see how he does it. And he's just way more athletic than I am, first of all. So his body can move a little different. But his pace is amazing. He a guy I've been studying lately, just because of his footwork. Every time I see him, I try to just like totally just look at his body movements and his footwork. I think that's where I can get better. Just trying to beat my defender just a little bit, not off of just length and athleticism, but footwork. I'm not there yet at all, but that's the next step, I think.
Quick break to talk about one of our oldest friends of the BS podcast, MeUndies. Summer is the perfect time to upgrade your underwear drawer because everyone is thinking about looking good and feeling good. MeUndies are the ultimate feel-good undies. Designed in LA, every pair of MeUndies is made with micro-modal of fabric 3 times softer than cotton. Their soft, stretchy undies come in an ever-changing array of colors and patterns. No matter what your style, they've got something for you. They also release new limited edition patterns each month that always sell out. And for the fellas, MeUndies Diamond Seam Pouch cradles your jewels. I like that. And gives your stuff the support it needs without feeling too tight. I can vouch for this because I wear MeUndies all the time. I like to have my jewels cradled. Meanwhile, ladies will love the soft, eco-friendly fabric, 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Right now, you'll save 20% off your first pair and receive free shipping only at MeUndies.com. MeUndies.com/BS. If you don't love your first pair of MeUndies, they're free. Once again, go to MeUndies.com/BS to get 20% off, free shipping, and 100% satisfaction guaranteed of the best, softest underwear you will ever own. It's a limited time offer. What are you waiting for? Start wearing the best underwear of your life. Go to MeUndies.com/BS right now. I have a weird theory about this season. I don't know if it's going to be borne out to be true or not. You notice what they did with the schedule, right? They spread out the season a little bit. There's no more 4 games in 5 nights. Perfect. Seems like guys are going to be a little more rested. I'm wondering how it's going to affect like stats and the potential of guys to, I don't know, just be better week to week.
Oh, you want more like triple doubles every week and 40-point nights.
You know, I don't care about
rebound games.
I don't care about triple doubles.
No,
I'm
just
talking
saying,
about
stats. You just want big stats, right?
No, but could this lead to sustain? Like, first of all, individual excellence is just like more consistent. But second of all, like just the games themselves, the regular season games will be better because like you'll go on a road trip now, and instead of the old days, you go on the East Coast and you're playing 6 games in 9 nights. Now you're playing 6 games in 12 nights, and you'll be rested for each game, and you'll just play better.
So you're saying the faker get exposed? Like the bums that probably caught somebody when they were tired gonna get exposed. Basically, what you're saying, right?
I'm saying
that's what I thought. You said the stats gonna go down.
No, stats are gonna get better.
Oh, you said they're gonna get better.
I think they're gonna get better.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. But yeah, some people are gonna get exposed to the fresh legs that got over last year. Because I don't know who, but somebody is.
Steve Kerr always called it. I mean, he's not the only one who called it, but he always called it schedule loss. Like just the schedule almost determined that this game wasn't going to go well.
Out there.
Yeah. I wouldn't
like when the Warriors lost to Milwaukee.
Schedule loss.
Schedule loss. Like they went double overtime with Boston.
They could have really won that game, but it's like, do I really mentally really, really need to like
go all out for this
peak like playoff performance, like focus, not performance, playoff focus? Can I do that for 48 minutes knowing I'm going home after this? I ain't seen my family in a week. Like that's when you know the schedule got you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You just get
when you thinking about like, damn, I can't wait to see my kids. Or I can't wait to go home, sleep in my own bed, and you still got a game to go. That's a schedule.
Do you buy the theory that the Warriors shook up the entire NBA and caused all this player movement chaos that happened?
Yeah.
Because it's been an especially crazy summer.
Yeah, I buy it. Yeah. So, yeah.
I mean, we've had like 5 major moves.
Yeah.
You had the 1 and the 2 seed in the Eastern Conference traded A-list starters to each other.
I don't think that was because of us, but
no, it might have been though.
No, but a lot of teams making moves because of us. Yeah, you see Houston making moves because they want to.
What was the one that surprised you the most?
That one.
The Chris Paul.
I'm not surprised. I'm sorry. I'm not surprised by anything, but it was just kind of like, damn, that's a smart move. I wouldn't think nobody would be that smart to pull that one off.
What do you think of James and Chris Paul on the same team?
I think it was a great move. You put 2 guys together that crafty with the ball like that, they're going to get everybody shots, and they're going to get each other shots. So it was a ballsy move to pull off by Morey. I don't think nobody would have thought to do that, because especially when you got James, who basically plays your point guard. Yeah. You really have to have some type of, like, clarity, you know, when you're making a decision like that, because it's just like, he played well last year, but he cannot sustain this. Like, you got to know that, you know, you can't just look at the numbers. So you could tell that he actually, like, seeing some stuff within his team. He paid attention.
What about PG to OKC?
That was a shock too. That was a shock because
PG was one of your favorite opponents.
Yeah. Any 3-man that I feel is all the threes. Players that play my position. That's the only players I'm really rivaling with. Like, I don't rival with no other players. I'm not guarding the point guards all game or guarding shooting guards or power forwards. Like, I'm looking at only small forwards. So that's why I got so much respect, and I think Paul George is so good. A lot of people disrespect him because I play against him and I respect my position. So that was shocking because Indiana just gave him away. And I didn't think OKC would even think about giving up anything to trade for him. I didn't think they would do it, but that was a ballsy move. that shows some.
OKC has the third highest payroll this year. I don't know if you noticed that.
Good. Spend it.
Steven Adams, Paul George, Westbrook, Andre Robertson, and who's the fifth guy in crunch time for them? I'm blanking.
Who'd you say again? So it's
Robertson.
It's gonna be
Russ,
Andre, PG.
Cantor's off the bench.
no, Steven Adams,
Patrick Patterson. And,
so that's their crunch time probably.
It's a good
no.
spot.
It's gonna be they're gonna probably go Russ. Who the sixth man? I think it's another wing they might use and put PG at the 4 and put Steven at the 5.
I think they're gonna.
They need another wing.
I've kind of talked myself into them.
Abrinas, maybe.
Yeah,
again,
possibly.
Give him some space. Russ. Abrinas.
I'm only blanking because we're at like the 2-hour mark of this podcast. My brain's not
Really been
working
that long?
anymore. No, I don't know how long it's been.
Didn't they
How long
make
has it
one other
been?
move?
97 minutes.
They got Felton, but I don't remember them picking
No,
up
they
a
got one other
wing.
move though. They got a shooter.
Yeah, they had one more guy. I should have been more prepared for
Ferguson. They drafted Ferguson.
Oh yeah, Dougie McBuckets.
So they're gonna play either. It's gonna be Dre,
But they lost
Russ,
Taj.
PG,
Yeah.
Steve, and then one of those shooters.
And then the Clips have the random Patrick Beverly.
Teodosic.
Yeah, have you seen the
Can't wait to
YouTube
see
clips of him?
play. I played against him. I can't wait to see him. He made one of the great. He made the greatest pass I ever seen in my life last summer. We all was like, "Yo, how the hell do you see that?" He was running like towards the sideline and he flicked it around his head like through two people on the dime. Like and he's at the 3-point line and flicked it to somebody over his head. He was with his right hand and hit him on the dime.
Yeah.
And it kind of faked me out. I spent in a circle. I'm like, that was the greatest pass I ever seen in my life from anybody. Best pass I ever seen. So I'm excited to see how he plays.
What is DeAndre saying about the revamped Clippers?
They like it.
I know
He
your
excited.
buddies.
He excited about it. They all felt, me and Deion, that's my best friend. Like,
Yeah.
really. So you could tell that at some point that everybody there needed some new life and energy. Whether somebody was leaving or somebody was bringing in another big player, like they needed some new energy. And you can sense that now with the Clips, especially with Doc just being the head coach now. I think that's going to be good for him. And this is all my opinion, so anybody getting offended by it, I'm sorry. Just how I feel.
Listen, I went to a couple of
Let me
those
finish
regular
my
season
Clippers
games.
analysis.
Yeah, no, I'm just agreeing with you, but go ahead.
Okay. So, but you got two good point guards. You got starting point guard as your backup, and then you got a rational, confident Austin Rivers who can go off and get you 30. But
He's got some Deion Waiters DNA in him.
oh, him and Deion Waiters are on the same island,
Yeah.
or right next door to each other.
He's got a river.
He's got a.
He's got a
He's in a ghetto.
he's got a canal. No, he's got a little canal that leads into Waiters Island.
channel.
A channel, yeah.
He got a channel. He's confident, so they should be good. Blake, now he's the man. Gallinari. Now Blake's the man. So
My issue with all the moves they made, I like the team on paper, but those guys got to stay in the court. Like Gallinari's great, but he misses, durability. I think durability is an underrated
But-
NBA skill. Got to stay in the
no
court.
more 4 or 5 nights. It's not a shorter, but the schedule is stretched out longer. So
Your boy D.
let's be optimistic about injuries this year too. All right,
I'm
let's just
hoping.
hope that the schedule prevents a lot of
who
injuries
likes injuries?
this year.
Yeah.
Yes,
You
I
were
agree.
against my
So-
schedule
So
comment.
Gallinari and Blake Griffin are gonna have healthy seasons. for
Well,
the
Blake's not going
Clippers.
to be back till December. But when he
he's
comes back,
he's gonna have a healthy season along with a lot of players in the league because it's a stretched out season, and they're going.
are you ready to play in a league where Deion Waiters has a $52 million contract?
Hell yeah!
It's about time,
He
right?
should have got more,
That's going to be a fun team.
but he know that's his fault.
He knows why.
He could have got more. He fucked around.
Or you thought he waited too long?
Nah, he could. He's supposed to be better. He know that. He waited too long to do what he's doing in Miami, I think.
We're going to take a quick break to talk about Blinkist. The world's most successful people all have one thing in common. They are hungry for knowledge, reading and learning every chance they get. Since you're listening to this podcast, you might feel the same way. Well, introducing the Blinkist app, over 2,000 best-selling nonfiction books transformed into powerful packs you can read or listen to in just 15 minutes. Learn essential ideas from the best books in your field or subjects you never knew you loved: productivity, business, science. With Blinkist, you can feast your mind on key ideas from best-selling nonfiction books like How Champions Think, Shoe Dog, Mindful Athlete. I don't see the book of basketball in here. I hope I'm in there somewhere. All on your way home, because Blinkist gives you big ideas in small packages, more knowledge next time, less time, and not to mention their team is constantly adding new titles from best of lists. You're always getting the most powerful ideas in a convenient made-for-mobile format. No wonder Blinkist was chosen in Apple and Google's best of selection for 2 years. Right now, they have a special offer just for our audience. That's you. Blinkist.com/BS. You get a free trial or 3 months off your yearly plan when you join today. That is BLINKIST.com/BS. Start your free trial or get 3 months off your yearly plan. Back to the podcast. Oh, yeah, we didn't talk about Minnesota. I did a podcast with Jimmy like a month ago. He was excited.
He was?
He said he's the
He
best.
was hurt. I could tell he was hurt. He got traded.
Oh, he definitely was. Well, because they blindsided him.
Yeah.
He was in Paris.
Ain't no loyalty, man. Do your thing, Jimmy.
Jimmy said he's the
He
best.
was in Paris at Fashion Week with D Wade.
Right.
Them boys had on nice clothes, good fabrics. And
Yeah, I don't know if I believe that story 100%.
I do not believe that. I don't believe D Wade plays cards.
Oh, interesting.
Shocker.
Yeah, the Jimmy Butler, Towns, Wiggins, Jeff Teague,
That's a lot of talent.
Taj,
A lot of talent, boy. Let's see how that
Tibbs.
works. So let's go down the line with that. Now, Teague can't really shoot that well, but he can play. He need the ball, though.
Right.
And Jimmy, he can shoot it, but he need a rhythm, so he need the ball, too. Wiggins, he the same way. He need the ball. They can all score. They all good, but somebody got to give up something. Whoever give
blog
up the
headline
most,
tomorrow. KD doesn't believe in Timberwolves.
I mean, I'm just telling you.
I'm just telling you what
everybody
the
else
internet
knows.
does.
Didn't I just point out their games though? Am I right about their games?
You're right. There's
I'm just
somebody's
saying,
going to have to
somebody will
sacrifice.
give up something in their games.
Yes.
In order for it to work, and I believe that they will. But Towns needs to be the guy that they get a ball to. I think because he's so good. But Jimmy need to be like facilitating. You know what I'm saying? Wiggins is going to be the guy that if you need a basket, you know what I'm saying? He's going to be the finisher. I think. That's just, if I was coaching the team on 2K, that's how I would play it.
Millsap and Jokic. What do you think of that?
Yeah, that passing duo was nice. I like Millsap.
I like that Denver team. I think that's kind of
Yo,
the
they had the second best
sneaky one.
offense, man, in the league. They were second in the league in assists. They can shoot the three. They got passing in the bigs. With your bigs, you got passing in your bigs. That's rare. And you got small guards. I think they need a point guard that they really, really believe in because they put Moutier on the bench sometimes because he was hurt.
They're playing Jameer a lot.
And they play Jameer, and they were trying to make the playoffs, so they didn't want to mess the rhythm up. So it's like, I get it, but like I feel like they need a stable point guard that they trust, and hopefully that's Moutier because I'm pulling for him. But I like their team, their offense. Mike Malone, man. When Sack let him go, I was like, "What are you doing? This dude's a guru with the offense."
Yeah.
So yeah,
It'll be interesting to see if Murray can make a little bit of a leap in his second year. He was up and down.
See, Murray is you got to. He's Lou Williams. Like he's a not new improved, because Lou is still getting it. He's Lou Williams to me, I think, on a good team.
Yeah.
I'm looking at these guys on like the championship level teams, like how they're gonna play
in June.
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't say Lou Will in the Clips either, right?
Oh yeah, I forgot Lou Will on the Clips.
He's going to be Lou Williams on the Clips.
He's gonna get buckets on the Clips.
Yeah.
Lou will be Lou Will. On the Clips.
I actually like this Clips team as if they can
I like
just
the
get
Clips,
everybody out
man.
there.
I like the Clips.
I like Denver, man.
But who are we talking about?
We're talking about Denver.
Oh yeah, but Jamal Murray, I think he can shoot it, man. He can shoot it. And
It's funny that you judge people like that because that's how I judge people too. I'm all I think about is June.
Yeah.
So I see when we traded down and took, I use we with the Celtics, Jason Tatum, and I'm just thinking like in June what happens?
How are you going to play against the best teams?
Is he playing? Who's he guarding?
Yeah,
what do the Warriors do against him? All that stuff.
Exactly.
And I think he could be
Tatum
in the second.
or
I think he'd be on the second unit.
Tatum? Or
Tatum.
Murray?
But in June,
Are
no,
we talking
Jason
about Tatum?
No, I switched to Tatum.
All right, Tatum.
He's second unit, but I can't imagine him actually like being out there in crunch time in June.
He's talented to be out there, talented enough to be out there crunch time.
Eventually.
Yeah, but he got to figure the rhythm of the game out first. He got to figure out like if it's how he gonna play first.
Right.
He's talented
You would
enough.
hope by June he would.
Yeah, by June he will. Just like Jaylen Brown, he finding his way. You
Right.
can tell he finding his way because they play so many games,
Well, 'cause
so many practices.
when it was-
and they got good coaching staff, man. That
Yeah.
helps. That helps.
When it was Josh Jackson versus Tatum, I just kept thinking like I really like Josh Jackson, but I know in June they're not guarding him. They're 4 feet off him, daring him to shoot.
Now,
So how does that help us? I mean, 3 years from now, he might fix that. Kawhi fixed
but
the
then
shot.
again, like you get somebody open three after open three, he'll start feeling confident, and then confidence take over in mechanics any day, I think. So when you start making shots, you feel like you're a shooter, and that confidence can just. He looked like a confident player, so that confidence just push him into being a good shooter. So in a good system, he'll be all right. Josh Jackson, anybody y'all that got in that system like Josh Jackson, if y'all wanted to win, he'd have been good there for y'all too. But
That was the case for Josh Jackson. Is everybody said he's like an alpha dog. He's super confident dude. The one flaw against him is his outside shot and the mechanics. Who knows?
So what's the Celtics 8 now?
Kyrie. I think Jalen's going to start at the 2.
Jaylen Brown at the 2.
Hayward.
No Marcus. Yeah,
Marcus
Smart, your
Morris.
backup port.
I think he's the third guard who could
Yeah.
swing back
hold
and
on.
forth.
So Hayward, Marcus Morris.
Marcus
Horford.
Moore and Horford.
I like the big man that they
Aaron
traded in
Baines.
Cleveland, by the way.
Zizic.
Marcus Morris gonna be a 4.
I think he'll start at power forward or the 4. And then Baines, Tatum,
I like Baines. Damn, that's a good pickup for y'all.
Marcus
Huge
Smart,
pickup.
and
Y'all need a
Rozier.
rebounding. Y'all need a rebound.
And he's tough.
Marcus Smart and who?
And Rozier.
Good 2 guards. I like both of them.
And then they need this French kid to potentially be good.
Who was that?
Yabusele.
And then next
First
year,
rounder
what
for
pick
2
do
years
they
ago.
have now? They have theirs.
So they traded the Brooklyn pick.
Yeah.
And I think the thinking was Brooklyn has no reason to tank. And they actually got a little bit better. And maybe that pick falls out of the top 5. They kept the Lakers pick. So if it falls 2, 3, 4, 5, they get the pick.
Just it's only protected for 1.
Protected 1. If it falls to 6, it rolls over and becomes the Kings pick the next year.
And it's gone.
So you got 4
they're
slashes.
So I'm rooting against the Lakers this year, which I would have done anyway.
The assets have dwindled.
Not really. They have that pick. They have all their own picks, and they have the Memphis first rounder that becomes unprotected in like 3 years. So they still have
Memphis will
some
be
stuff.
bad in a few years.
You would think.
Their pick, but Boston's pick will be the end of the first round now.
Yeah. But the key thing for them is the salaries all match now because now it's like Hayward, Horford, Kyrie. They know those 3
threes
salaries for this
are
year,
good.
next year.
Yeah.
They have Tatum and Brown on rookie contracts. Now they got to figure out the Marcus extension. But now they know. It's like what you guys have.
And there was
where
no way-
you
there
guys
was
know
no
the
way they were
salaries.
Going to be able to keep Bradley.
That's the one I haven't reconciled that one yet.
I don't know.
See how you trade him. He could have kept him on that team. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. If they knew Kyrie was going to be,
I think if they could go back now, maybe they walk that back. Avery was he would get hurt every once in a while. Like he would always have some nagging injury. I think that was one of their fears. But man, that dude was a baller. He made big shots too.
Yeah, he made some huge shots.
I like that. He had good games against you guys last year. Like he was.
Yeah,
He was,
he did.
I don't know. I always thought. I mean, nobody stops Curry, but he went at him. He made Curry work. You know.
Yeah, that's all you're supposed to do.
But no, it's good. I don't know. The Cleveland thing's weird because they're gonna have Isaiah and Love, who 2 defensive liabilities, but offensively, if Isaiah's back to where he was,
They got D Rose.
D Rose,
I don't think they done dealing.
really.
I think they're gonna trade that pick.
That center. What's his name again?
Zizic. He's only 20 though.
I know, but they have other Europeans they stashed too, Boston, right? Or are they all on the team now?
A couple more. But here's the thing with Cleveland trading that pick. If they think LeBron's leaving in a year,
I'm saying
how
if
do
they
you
trade the pick, they know he's staying.
Right. So that would be the sign.
That's what I'm basing it off of.
Yeah.
I think they know. I personally always say he's staying. I told him this.
Really?
I feel like he's going to just, that's me. I feel like he's going to end it in Cleveland. That's just crib. That's the crib now. He running and he's just going, I'm sure he's going to turn that into some mega once he's done. Like he's going to do something.
What do you want to bet on this?
Um,
I'm saying LA.
I bet Fat Sal's.
Okay. I'm in. I'm betting LA.
LA?
I think he goes
You
to
stand
Lakers.
on LA.
I think he goes to
Fat
Lakers.
Sal's, combo meal. He's standing.
I think the Lakers thing is
I got him
it
standing
makes a lot of
Cleveland.
sense. But all right. Any last
That's
thoughts,
a perfect
Rich?
way to end it.
Yeah. Any last thoughts, Rich?
No.
That was
How'd
the
I do
best
with
one we
the
had.
usage rate?
I actually thought it was too low. I wanted you to chime in like 3 more times. You got mad at me about Aaron Hernandez for some reason. That was fun. Like Aaron Hernandez, he's dead. That was fun.
I did.
I thought you was talking about Aaron Hernandez now. He's nice.
I felt like it was unnecessary.
You rep.
He was paying homage to his basketball skills.
Yeah, I'm
back when
saying he was good at
Florida.
basketball.
That's like a name you don't say though.
Why not?
It's like
What?
the boogeyman.
You rep the Knicks, I thought, pretty well.
Always.
You
Yeah,
might have
the
gotten
old
Jared
Knicks,
Wilkinson's
old
That's
team
Knicks.
crazy.
wrong.
He repped the Knicks, though.
Old Knicks.
Yeah. All right.
Not the new regime.
Yeah.
Katie, this was fun as always. The quadrilogy, thank you. Rich, thank you.
Quadrilogy.
Yeah, we'll figure out another. The mailbag thing was fun, right?
Yeah, that was really
All right,
fun.
maybe we'll do that again at some point.
Sure.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks to Gillette. Did you know a Gillette razor blade edge is thinner than a single brain cell? Well, you knew it because I said it earlier. That's the product of many brain cells at work, namely the thousands of men and women at Gillette always working harder to make your shave better. Now you can get Gillette blades for less at GilletteOnDemand.com. That's GilletteOnDemand.com. Gillette, the best a man can get. Pricing applies to select products and is at the sole discretion of the retailer. Thanks to SeatGeek, the official sponsor of the BS podcast. Don't forget about that deal for first timers for NFL tickets. Use promo code BSNFL when you go to SeatGeek. Don't forget about Miller Lite, the official beer of The Ringer and the official beer of our relaunch on our awesome red website, theringer.com. And finally, don't forget about the last episode of Binge Mode Game of Thrones. They're going to be breaking down the final episode of Game of Thrones. Mallory Rubin, Jason Concepcion. You can also hear Jason on the Rewatchables. We did Point Break last week. And this upcoming week, we have You Got Mail with Juliet Littman and Amanda Dobbins. Time to get a rom-com in there in the Rewatchables because they're about as rewatchable as anything. Thanks to all the listeners who sent emails for me and Kevin. And thanks, as always, to Kevin Durant, the Finals MVP. He loves throwing it down on these podcasts. We'll give you updates throughout the year to see what happens with him and Scarlett Johansson. I just want to be invited to the wedding. I'm happy to sit on either side of the aisle. I don't care, wherever they need bodies. Until then, later in the week, the BS Podcast coming back. See you soon.